Hello friends, welcome to my channel Textile Gyan. I am Prakash Kude, Assistant Professor in Yamal Textile Engineering College, Bhilwara, Rajasthan. Today we'll basically talk about the basic principle of fluid flow in the during fiber spinning. So in this, as you know that how we can get the inspiration for the different spinning technologies, we'll see the inspiration we get for the developing the spinning techniques that is comes from your spider and silkworm. So these creatures has showed us the following steps where which can be required for the extruding the thin continuous filament. The first steps is the acquisition of your spinnable liquid like we do in the dough formation in case of your wet spinning and dry spinning, and we can say that this can be also used in case of your melt spinning. That same acquisition of spinnable liquid we need to do. The second is your jet formations, that is extrusion of your polymeric fluid, and third in is your jet hardening. So these three steps which has been getting the inspiration from your spider and silkworm. So adding to this the bobbin winding and the we get the finally manufactured fiber in the spun state. These manufactured fibers may require the drawing and further process for the getting the adequate properties in your filament. So in manufactured fiber of polymeric fibers, the polymer in the form of melt or solution is extruded under pressure through a capillary having a diameter typically in the range of 0.002 centimeter to 0.04 centimeter, and the length either can be equal to or 3 to 4 times that of your diameter. So when we are manufacturing any polymeric fibers, we need to extrude that polymeric fluid through a capillaries which could have the diameter in this range, and the length to diameter you can say that could be 3 to 4 times the diameter. And the fluid which is coming out of this capillary as a thread, and it has been pulled rapidly onto the winder as it is attenuated, and solidification of this thin filament generally of gradually reducing the cross sections has been taken place, which ultimately acquires the uniform final cross section shape or constant diameter. So after this, passing this through the capillary, it has been pulled onto the winder, and during that period, we are ultimately elongating your or attenuating your filament into as per the required cross section shape. At the same time, we can say that as per your required denier in your filament that can be attained. So the first the spinnable fluid which was manufactured was the cellulose nitrate. So during that they're using this solution of cellulose nitrate or cellulite normally called as in the mixture of alcohol, either a solvent, and the solidification of this jet is being achieved by the solvent evaporation techniques. So we can say that initially the first which has been spinnable liquid or fluid which has been developed and it has been spun, that is your cellulose nitrate, and that has been dissolved with the help of your alcohol, and the solidification of this jet has been achieved by your solvent evaporation technique like in case of your wet spinning we do. So the first spinnable fluid is your cellulose nitrate. The second method for the fiber production which has been developed was the for the viscose process, viscose fiber development. So in this, a solution of cellulose was solidified by the chemical coagulation, and the polyacrylonitrile that are which is largely adactic is often spun by these techniques, that is your wet spin technique. The third method which has been arrived with the development of your melt stable material that could be your nylon 66, and it has been just solidified by the freezing it, or we can say that that is cooling of this has been done, and the nylon 66 was the first polymer which has been developed by the melt spinning techniques, and it has been further can be used for the polyesters nylon 6, nylon 66, isotactic polypropylene can be spun by these melt spinning techniques. This first, third, and first, second, and third methods are referred to above are now well established techniques and are well known as your dry spinning, wet spinning, and melt spinning, respectively. The melt spinning is one of the youngest and most economical of these three processes. The melt spinning is one of the simplest and the technology and which is for the producing your filament, and in this case the solidification of your melt thread involves the only heat transfer, whereas in dry spinning it also involves the one way mass transfer, while in case of wet spinning it involves the two-way mass transfers. So this is the one of the important things is in these three basic technologies, that is in case of melt spinning the solidification of melt involves the only heat transfer, while in case of dry spinning it involves the only one way mass transfer, while in case of wet spinning that is two-way mass transfers, because here solvent has been removed with the help of your certain chemicals, so there is a two-way mass transfer that has been taken place in case of your wet spinning technologies. So what are the different fibers which has been manufactured by these three different spinning methods? Like in melt spinning, nylon 66, nylon 6, polyester, polypropylene, polyethylene. These are the fibers which can be manufactured by the melt spinning. While in case of dry spin from by dry spinning, cellulose diacetate, cellulose triacetate, acrylic or normally called as the Orlon, and polyurethane, polyvinyl chloride, and chlorinated polyvinyl chloride that can be manufactured by your dry spinning technique. While wet spinning technique, spinning method by which we can produce the acrylic, mode acrylic, rayon, polyurethane, polyvinyl alcohol, and aromatic polyamide can be manufactured via wet spinning techniques. While wet spinning derivatives, the viscose rayon can be manufactured. So these are the different methods by which we can manufacture the different fibers. Now we'll see how the fiber structures has been formed in case of when polymer has been extruded after a capillary or through the spin rate. So initially, if you see here, this is like the stage where no orientation in filament, that is just after the your polymeric fluid has been coming out of your spin rate. So here we can see these polymeric chains are not oriented in this direction of your fiber. So they are free jets of your molten polymers. So as you know that the molecular orientation and crystallinity are plays important role in case of your melt spinning, and that will ultimately affects the ultimate structure and physical properties of your fiber. So if you see, if there is will not be any orientation of your molecular chains, so it will not get the adequate properties. So how we can achieve this molecular orientation in your polymeric chain? So as the molecular orientations arises by the parallelization of your molecular chains along the fiber axis in both crystalline and non-crystalline regions. So during melt spinning, this molecular orientation develops in the two stages. One is your in spin rate channel, and second is in the elongations. So now whatever this we are seeing, that is under elongation stage we are seeing, and the molecular alignment is developed when polymer melt is forced through this capillary chain. So in this polymeric fluid has been forced to the capillary channel or spin rate. So this is your initial stage where the polymeric chains are not oriented, and when we are taking this polymeric fluid downward, they are trying to align in the direction of your fiber axis, because we are ultimately stretching down this polymeric fluid as the your delivery of winding we are doing it on your winder. So during that period, after coming out of your capillary channels, they will try to orient in the direction of your fiber by applying the stretch in the direction of your fiber axis. So this is your tining process where polymers try to arrange in the direction of your polymer. So this is your neck formation stage in the super drawing has been tested, and this is the complete fiber deformation has been taken place, or we can say that completion of your crystallization or molecular orientation has been taken place. So this is the stage where actual fiber has been oriented in the direction of your fiber axis. So as it is coming out of your spin rate, the molecular alignment become disoriented, as we have seen. As it is coming out of this spin rate, they will try to they are disoriented in stage, and this will contribute very little to the final fiber orientation. So the major contribution of this orientation is made by the elongation flow along this spin line. So as how this molecular chains are oriented, that is due to the elongation flow along these spin lines, and the parallel velocity gradient and the relaxation time distribution and the elapsed time are much more important factors which affect the molecular orientations. For example, the higher heat transfer coefficient result in the increasing orientation, since it causes the more effective freezing of your orientation on the final quenching. And the molecular orientation also increases with the increasing take-up speed. As we are increasing the take-up speed, the molecular are oriented in the direction of your fiber, and at the same time with the help of extruded velocity has been if it is increased, and the reciprocal of your polymeric mass flow rate. So by which the molecular orientation can be increases. So the velocity distribution and the profile of your polymer melt appear in different forms along your spin line, which plays an important role in the fiber formations. Inside the spin rate channels, the polymer flow is your typical flow with the parabolic velocity profile. So, by assuming that an incompressible Newtonian fluid of velocity ta through a capillary of radius r and length L, the radial velocity distribution can be described as V of r, that is equal to the P is the pressure difference between your inlet and outlet of your capillary divided by 4 into the Newtonian velocity viscosity, and L is your length of the capillary. Capillary R is your capillary radius minus R square. So that is your radius of your filament. So by which this radial velocity distribution can be described. So now I'll see how the velocity profile in the capillary, inside the capillary, and when the polymeric fluid is coming out of your capillary, what is the profile we will get. So inside capillary we'll see this type of polymeric fluid velocity profile, that is shear flow in your capillary, and after when it is coming out of your spin rate, we'll get the elongation flow in your spin line. So what is basic difference between this shear flow and the elongation flow? If you see inside this capillary, there is a boundaries are there, and the fluid which is flowing inside this capillary, the fluid which is at the center, they will having the higher velocity as compared to the liquid which is flowing near to your outer periphery, or we can say near to your outer boundary of your capillary. So this is your parabolic velocity profile we can see in case of your when any fluid has been flowing through the capillary. While in case of the elongation flow, the velocity along that particular line of direction, that will be same at the same equal time. You can say that at the same point the velocity will be equal for each element, but it has been increases as it is flowing downward. As we are elongating this polymeric fluid in the direction as take-up velocity, take-up speed has been increased, or you can say that take-up has been taken place. During that velocity has been increases. So velocity gradient, if you see here, that is increases tremendously when it is going downward along the your spin line. But at same point of the action, the velocity in all the polymeric fluid will be same. So when polymer is extruded out of the orifice, a phenomenon of your diastole is observed, which is due to the relaxation of your stored elastic energy. I will tell you what is the basic concept of your diastole. When polymer any for polymeric fluid is coming out of any orifice, that there is a increasing diameter of that polymeric fluid. Like as in this case, the polymeric fluid is coming out of your capillary. So what is the capillary diameter is there at that point, that is your small d if it is, and if it is coming out of that orifice, it can be bulged out. So that phenomenon we call as a diastole. So there is an increase in diameter at that time. So that can be observed due to the relaxation of your stored elastic energy, and they will try to come back to their original state, because inside the capillary the polymeric fluid are in the certain under stress condition. So after, when it is coming out of this, they will try to relax. So this degree of swelling, that will depend upon the condition of extrusion, temperature and geometry of that die. For example, in melt spinning, the diastole ratio that will be decreases if you increase your extrusion temperature, because it is a phenomena of bulging out of your polymeric fluid when it is coming out of your orifice or die. So that will ultimately depend upon your extrusion, condition of extrusion, temperature and geometry of your die. So under take-up tension, the flow of polymeric melt transmit from shear flow to the elongation flow or unaxial extensional flow. In elongation flow, the velocity keeps on increasing along the spin line, as we have already seen. As velocity has been increases along your spin line, and finally it has been reaches to the takeoff velocity that we are seen in this. The velocity has been increases, it is going downward to the spin line. So thank you so much. I hope you understood the basic principle of fluid flow in the during fiber spinning. So stay tuned to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Also like, share and comment on this video.